Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Today is the day because today we have the fusion starting for GRANYT Doorkeep. Now, we talked about him in a previous video about what I thought about him, and I did say that I was going to go in on this event. Now, the reason for me is I have a lot of like dwarf specific reasons why I'm doing this, but he is not the best fusion champion. That being said, if you have the resources to do so, that you could do him and the upcoming, what's probably going to be a Leonardo Path event, then we're going to talk about the scheduling for GRANYT Doorkeep today and some of the events that are starting also today, or right now, actually, in fact, and what's to come. Before we get started with the video, though, I do want to remind people, if you haven't started playing Raid yet, get out from under that granite rock. Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Karato Fox Hunter, Legendary of the Shadowkin, for free, and 3 amazing epics to go alongside him: Ugo, Tagore, and Deacon Armstrong at account level 15, 30, and 40, and also another amazing free legendary champion that is the Void Legendary Tahanarak of the Barbarian faction by using the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, this patch also came up with a few other things which I haven't really spoke about. We took a look at GRANYT's Keep previously in one of my last videos, so I'm not going to really go into big detail about that. But some other things is that we're getting also this new epic. So it's a traditional fusion. There's going to be some rares, which are going to fuse into epics, and then 4 of Hilda are going to fuse into GRANYT. Now, we didn't really talk about her, though. So she is going to be available even for, let's say, newer players who are able to clear some of the events, which a lot of I would say quite a few of them are like new player friendly, that are not that difficult to do, especially as a new account. So even if you're able to get your hands on like an epic from this fusion, if nothing else, then that's still good too. So she does, and this is great for Fire Knight, actually, even for new players. So a 3-hit A1 attack. Each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense, and each critical has a 75% chance of stealing a random buff. This isn't important to Fire Knight necessarily. A 2-hit A2, and each hit is a 75% up to 100 with books. Placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. This can be up to a cooldown of 3, and the damage is inflicted by 10% for each debuff on the target. So that could be quite a lot in PvE scenarios, so that's something interesting. And then also she has an AoE, which attacks all enemies and then places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also can do a stun debuff. So this could be a very, very solid champion also for trait-based kind of stuff for dwarves, faction crypts, Cursed City, this kind of thing. So pretty nice. And allies deal 15% more damage to targets under heal reduction or a stun placed by this champion, unfortunately. So it can't be other players. It has to be hers. So make sure you don't run another champion that can also heal, reduce, or stun. Otherwise, the passive won't kick off. But also 20% ally attack aura. There's also this Sylvan Watcher's rare, which is part of the fusion. So Glade Wolf, a void rare. So it might be okay. There's a 3-hit A1. So again, maybe a possible new player character here for Fire Knight. Also has a 35% chance of placing a decreased speed debuff. Keep in mind, rares are very easy to book, so that would be up to 50% on a 3-hit. So that's probably going to land. AoE attack with Provoke. And then we have counterattack on that champion and ally protection on all. So this could be very, very interesting, and decreases the damage that the dog receives by 5% for each ally under an ally protection buff. So that would be an extra 15% damage reduction. Or more, I guess, if you're doing it in 5-man content, I suppose. Or 6-man, I guess, with Hydra. I doubt you'd be using a rare in Hydra, but anyways. So those are the yeah, sorry. There's one more, right? One that really overshadowed everyone else. It's this new champion everyone's talking about, Klazag Keyhawk. Okay, and I'm just going to go forward and say that this is probably going to be a very impossible to obtain character. It's probably going to be a Void progressive 10x that you're going to have to get lucky on a Void shard. I highly doubt there's going to be a guaranteed event. He looks badass and he is very powerful. Places a true fear debuff, but the biggest thing that this guy does is that debuffs on all of his skills cannot be resisted by bosses, which means that he does not need accuracy if you're using him on bosses, which is crazy. He's got 4 debuffs on his A2: decrease defense, weaken, decrease accuracy, and decrease resistance. And then he places counterattack and unkillable on himself. and a taunt as well. Sorry, counterattack on all allies, which I'm pretty sure there's not very many who can do that. So that is crazy for things like Demon Lord as well. Crazy, crazy buffs, crazy, crazy debuffs. This character is huge. Whenever this champion places a debuff on an enemy, deals damage equal to 1% of their max HP for each debuff they are currently under. Right, so that is up to 10%, once per skill and once per target. Crazy, crazy character. I think the chances of us getting them though is like next to nil. So I don't want to spend too much time on that, more than I already did. So that is that. We also, I don't know why, but they renamed dungeon divers to gear hunters. Did I miss something? But that's what happened. So it's kind of the same thing, right? You're farming artifacts and you're gonna get a Glade Wolf, right? So each of these events are gonna get you a rare. And then you're gonna fuse those rares into the, like I said, into the epics, into the, should be in the fusion portal now, actually. In fact, GRANYT's there. So you can see all the rare that you need to then fuse into the epics. So what's a good thing to do is to, I guess it's a bit late now, but coming next weekend, to fuse, to grind up that void potion keep if you need it, and or make sure that you're grinding up the force potion keep if you need it for the epics if you are going in on this fusion, because you will need void and force potions in order to ascend the characters which are required to then get to the epic. That's important to note there for that one. But yeah, we have a gear hunters or dungeon divers today. We have gear enhancement tomorrow, and then today we should have Fire Night basically now in an hour, or depending on when this video goes out. So Fire Night tournament starting today as well. But there are other, which I want to talk about, some of the other events which are going to pop up here in the screen in a minute here. So this is the GRANYT Doorkeep Fusion event calendar. So let's zoom in a touch anyways. And so we have Gear Hunters, again, don't know why they call it that, and Fire Night starting today, Gear Enhancement starting tomorrow, and then on Friday, actually at the end of Thursday, kind of depending on where you are in the time zones, Dragon Tournament, Champion Training, and then on Friday, we have Summon Rush in Classic Arena. Now, so this Summon Rush is very important, because if you've ever done traditional fusions, you can skip a lot of events if you summon on the Summon Rush to not only get this, but you're also going to get a copy of the epic. Can I zoom out? It blocks out. Well, we can zoom in a little extra more. You can see down here this Hilda that you can pick up on the Summon Rush on Friday, and that will allow you to skip 4 events. Or you could keep the epic, right? If you really want Hilda, you could keep the epic and then keep going on. But for a lot of players, this will allow you to bypass a lot of events required on this fusion event. Namely, at the very end, we have a Champion Chase tournament, which is another summoning event, and that can allow you to skip that one, among other events. So that is normally what I would do for these traditional fusions, and what I've done in the past is that I've made sure that I can clear the points needed for the Summon Rush to get the epic, which allows me to skip the others. Now, what are the expectations for that? It's going to be about 6,100 points. That's what it was for the last traditional fusion. So what does that mean? Mystery shards are worth 1 point. So I got 4,200 mystery shards, which is quite a lot, which is like over 2/3 the way that I need to get this done. Sacred shards are worth 500 points. I think primals are worth 300, 250. Or like I think it's like 2 primal shards for 1 sacred, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I know ancient shards are 20, and void shards are, I want to say about 100 or so. So you're gonna need to do some combination to get around the 6,000 range to spend your shards on the Summon Rush. I probably won't do a video for that because I'm gonna liquidate the vast majority of my mystery shards, and then I maybe will do some ancients, or I'll do a couple of primals to bridge the gap the rest of the way. I'm still saving all of my sacred shards for Leonardo. So the reason why I am going to be doing this fusion event is mainly because I am comfortable with the amount of sacred shards that I have now and will have in a few weeks when the Leonardo path event comes, assuming that it's a shard related event. If it's souls, if it's, there's the Raphael deck of fates, which probably is going to be souls as well. I've been saving my altar of souls for a long time. I got like almost 100 mortal soul stones. I got almost over 20 immortal soul stones and like 3 eternal soul stones, plus all the soul collection crap that I could probably sell off if I really have to, right? I have a good amount of stuff I could sell if I really need to bridge the extra gap. So that's my plans for Leo and Raph, but that's probably going to be about 2 or 3 weeks down from there. Now, to look at some of the rest of the events here, though, for GRANYT, coming into the weekend, we have the Summon Rush, the Classic Arena, another Dungeon Divers over the weekend, Gear Enhancement over the weekend, and then starting next week, we have Ice Golem Tournament, and then the rest follow. So there's going to be 16 total events, right? Because there needs to be 1 rare per event, but If you do the summon rush for the epic, you will be able to skip 4 of these. And the main one would be champion chase, but some other ones that people like to skip is dungeon divers, the gear hunters now, I guess. But that's going to be 3 of them for this. So if you think you are going to do the summon rush, you could skip all 3 of those, or you could skip 2 of them and skip a champion training if you want. I actually like doing champion training because I usually have some excuse to be able to upgrade my characters, but that won't be coming until Thursday for the first champion training, because as you guys know, I do have quite a bit of new stuff that I need to work on. I'm sitting still on a lid. Speaking of that offer there, I'm sitting on a Lydia that I'm going to be claiming for clan versus clan. Just a little bit of a roster update for myself. You can see this on the bottom of the screen. I talked about that last week. I've been being very patient. And then I also have the Cardial, which I pulled, right? In my last my Void Shard for Leo pull, which didn't actually go so hot, but we did get ourselves a Cardial, and I am going to be working to upgrade him to hopefully using Chimera among some other places. So that's kind of currently my plan for champion training later on this week and the characters that I'm going to be working on. So looking forward to that. And also, again, we have that personal clan versus clan that's going to be starting tomorrow. And we have Iron Twins Fortress, Faction Wars, and Forge objectives as a double. So make sure that you're saving your Faction War keys for when it actually goes live. And if you've been using the pass, the Forge Pass at all, if you finished the premium one at all with the extra stuff, then make sure that you're forging that on the clan versus clan. You probably have a lot of, whether it's perception gear or any of the other crap, then you can forge all of that up come tomorrow for the CVC, and you'll get a lot of additional points for that. So some exciting stuff this week for sure. And then hopefully, you know, by the back of this, I guess we're gonna learn more about what the actual guaranteed unlock events are going to be for Leo and Raph, because I've been holding very patiently for this, and I can't wait to open up my entire horde. By that point, I'll have well over 50 sacred shards probably at this point, and it'll be an even bigger video then. So that's going to be it just for today. Happy Monday, by the way, everyone. And before we go, I just want to remind you once again that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download that QR in the corner to get Karato Fox Hunter and 3 amazing epics, Ugo, Tagore, and Deacon Armstrong at account levels 15, 30, and 40. And then to top it all off, you will get yourself the legendary Tahanarak, an amazing support champion, by using the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Of course, you're going to get a free Michelangelo for playing for 7 days. Okay, that's it for now, everyone. I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.